Some may call this the end of the unofficial summer. September is just around the corner. We're giving you a sneak peek of what you can expect for the month of September and taking you a trip down memory lane to show you some records that were broken across the country. We saw some stunning blue skies in BC. This is the scene in Fredericton. Some calm water there, but a soggy weekend, which has helped relieve some ongoing wildfire threats across Atlantic Canada. Check out this shot that Linda sent in out of Quebec. The rain moving sideways within that strong wind. Thunderstorm energy this summer was experienced. And this little guy just basking in the sunshine in Ontario. Check out the blue skies this September long weekend. Oh, Nadine, it is the end of summer, some may say, as kids are heading back to school in just a few days.
Yeah, you know, that pup there, he was enjoying the last of the dog days of summer. And you know what? We certainly had quite a bit of that across parts of the country. But let's take a look at some of the major headlines we had. First up, of course, summer, we think of severe weather. And just taking a look at the tornado count so far, our numbers are a little bit below average. Of course, Saskatchewan and Ontario picking up most of those in terms of those numbers there. And of course, season coming to a close, but we all know that severe weather is not just restricted to the summer season. Now, speaking of summer, June started off a little bit cool across the east with the warmth across parts of the west. But then as we headed into July, you see there, the temperatures across the Great Lakes region into Quebec started to moderate a bit with pockets of warmth across the west. And by the time we headed into August, of course, we all know we had many days where we had those temperatures exceeding that 30-degree range. Even into Newfoundland, you can see there St. John's. 5 days so far this summer where we've had temperatures exceeding that 30-degree mark, and well over 20 days, Victoria, where we had those numbers exceeding 30 degrees. So it certainly was quite hot for many people.
Nadine, I can't even count on my two hands how many heat warnings we experienced across the east between Atlantic Canada, Southern Ontario, and Quebec. It was quite the hot one, but that also prompted some wildfires. We had a province-wide fire ban across Newfoundland and Labrador. The ongoing wildfire situation was quite bad, and it peaked during August. However, we finally do have some precipitation across Atlantic Canada and Newfoundland, which has now deemed the Kingston fire under control. But Nadine, speaking of precipitation, Calgary, they saw quite a bit of rain this past month.
Yeah, while we had a void of rainfall across northern sections of the prairies, Calgary, look at July, over 150 millimeters of rainfall. But then contrast that, you can see here in some of this video, hail as well as the rain, but contrast that to the very dry conditions that we had across parts of the east, Ottawa, Montreal, and Sherbrooke in Quebec. Barely a tenth of the average rainfall for the summer. So, of course, summer synonymous with heat. We're getting back to that temperature story. Average number of days for over 30 degrees for BC and Alberta. We had a surplus of that in British Columbia. So much so that, of course, Lytton, typically one of the hot spots in the country, or the hottest spot, really living up to that name there, Victoria, where we had several days where we had the temperature exceed 40 degrees. And it looks like the heat is coming back for us into BC and Alberta as well, Victoria.
Yeah, we're starting off September quite warm across the west, but cooler conditions on the way to start off the month of September across parts of Ontario and east.